Hello, Cynthia sings classical, Cynthia Gang soprano, 10,000 hours towards proficiency. We are on hour 56 right now. It is just turned 2:30. I spent the weekend at the hospital because I was really sick and my tummy was doing really badly and I was in a super amount of pain. And I don't really take meds because they don't seem to help. So it's like an internal pain. It's about like a system pain, not like a muscular pain. So I was there, so I couldn't practice, which was a piss off because sitting in a merge, actually, it's interesting. So when I was hospitalized in 2014, 2015 for being crazy, when I actually had rectal fissures that would rip every time I went to the bathroom and cause the flashbacks, but they didn't diagnose that until 2016, 8 years after the attack. It was insane, like insane in the emergency unit. It was not quiet. It was people screaming. It was EMTs screaming. It was nurses screaming. It was everybody just acting like a cunt. This weekend was not terrible. Like, the nurses weren't necessarily very caring because they keep seeing people who obviously are unhoused and they're racist. They're all white nurses. That's like a thing in Alberta. And there's like homeless Native people that they just don't care about. So, I mean, it's sad and it's racist, but it wasn't terrible. So I guess that's good. 8 years ago, I would say never go to the hospital. This weekend, I would say go to hospital when sick, but be prepared to wait 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 hours for something that's pretty serious. So that's where I've been. Don't feel sympathy for me. It's annoying, and it really doesn't help. The whole Daniel Smith thing is garbage because she's an idiot. We have elected a stupider Sarah Palin. Actually, we haven't elected. She elected herself. Sarah Palin elected herself in Alberta, except her name is Daniel Smith. So that's the introduction for this morning. I'm going to practice some Hanon. I'm going to practice A major scale and technique. I'm going to practice my technicals. And then I'm going to work very long on the first Sonatina, I think it's by Gounod, for the list C piece. I'm not sure, no, I think it's list B, because I don't really know it very well. So that will be the next hour. Okay, I think I stopped at Hanon 6. Hanon 6. I was supposed to have 2 job interviews this week. I have a job, but it's not a very good job, so I'm thinking of leaving it. And that job had to call me to say that they had an emergency. One of those job interviews had to call me to say they had an emergency. So, only 1 job interview this week. I will keep interviewing until I find something phenomenal, because I deserve something phenomenal. Turning on. Number 7. Fingers to be trained. 3, 4, 5. This exercise is of great importance for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th fingers. fourth finger, and it's not very strong. I naturally will not use it. I naturally will fall away from it. So, fingers to be trained. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This exercise is very important for the 5 fingers. Well, that's some silliness. Let's find a smaller, these need to be bound, but the binder hasn't gotten back to me because they don't care about the business. Anyway. Started at 7, let's end at 9. Why do those take so long? Why is all my time going away? I mean, I guess I can practice for longer, but I honestly can't concentrate for longer. So just then, I was thinking about a meeting that I have with some of the women in finance in Edmonton, and how annoying it is that while I don't have a completed degree, I've been doing finance for 20 years, but the businesses want me to have a degree in finance, and that doesn't make any sense, and how annoying that is. So that's what I was thinking about while I was practicing some of those. But I tried to stop the thinking because that's not going to help me in my music, because music is more important than business. so much more important than business. A major scale. Let us do this. Separated by a third. so hard? Because it's a stretch. Let's see what that fingering is. Oh, I hate that. No. Oh, that's why. Because I am putting sharps and flats where they don't need to be, and then it makes it stretch more. Four note solid, broken. Oh, and then I have to play the cadences. 4 note broken. Alternate note pattern. No. Yep. Dominant 7th chords. Dominant 5th of A is E. Beautiful. Dominant 7th chord's broken. is too long because I'm being slow, which is good. But it feels like it's like, oh, too long. Okay, we have, from your pattern scales, we have leading tone, diminished seventh chords. We're on the second page of leading seventh. Leading tone, diminished seventh chords. Nope. Okay. Start again. Minor, broken. Starts on A flat. Beautiful. So I'm thinking of my professor, who is Bulgarian, and I'm thinking about my next teacher when I move away. Will be that person, my professor, and someone from Russia, because I see Edmonton and I see the terrible shit that comes out of Edmonton, and that's not what I want to be. So I probably will stay here. I mean, like, I keep the apartment always to be able to come back here, but it's like the kind of place that you don't want to really be, other than it's really close to the mountains. So I would never move to Edson or Hinton. That's a terrible place to be. And I really am not a big fan of Calgary. Although it's close to the mountains, there's just too many yuppies, and I don't like them, and they're obnoxious. So, yeah, there's a prep program in Italy to be able to do music prep for degrees there, and it's not super expensive. And I've been thinking about doing that program because I have a good musical background, but because it's not diagnosed or like degreed or conservatoried, people kind of bypass me when I'm doing auditions. So that's really sad. So yeah, so I'm just kind of thinking about what the next few years are going to look like. Probably going down to train with my voice professor in New York full time, and then getting to Italy somehow. Well, I mean, it's easy. You take a plane, but you have a lot of paperwork to do first. So yeah, working and thinking about that. Let us do the Storm and just do the first two lines and do it pianissimo, agitato, going to sposando. Okay. is because there is some tricky fingering there. Oh, but it's a third. So it has to jump, and my fingers are not used to that yet. Okay, let us try to recall it without looking. Fourth finger. No. Trying not to look, it's hard. Okay. Beautiful. So, when I was at Emerge yesterday, someone that a friend knows from Hanon was murdered in 2019. Parts of her body were found in Sherwood, which I didn't even know that was different from Jasper Place, but I grew up in Jasper Place, which is like the next community over, and I don't think that I ever met this person, but I do believe that I have very close contacts that have like a degree of separation from this victim. And it makes me really sad because it means that there's someone in this city that murdered a friend of a friend. And that's sick. Edmonton is like the shittiest of the shittiest places in Canada. Like, Vancouver downtown east side is fucking terrifying. But like, Edmonton, it's like everywhere is unsafe. And I'm so used to it that like I literally just stay in my house and go places with my best friend and do nothing else because I'm so used to it. But I remember Lily, who was like a huge backstabber at school. She told me that I didn't need to accept that, and then she backstabbed a lot of people and like me and was like mouthing off and like making Lucy her friend. And Lucy's like one of the worst sociopaths I've ever met. And like, I mean, I was married to one, so I was living with one and raising his daughter. So like, it doesn't mean much to me now, but it's kind of like when you live somewhere that is so dangerous, you can't trust people. Like, there are very, very few people that I will ever engage with that I don't already know very well, that I've met like 10 times in person with different friends, with different contacts in different situations. Yeah, like, that's Edmonton. And this person, Lily, was like, well, why don't you just move to Halifax? And Halifax is shit. Like, there's no culture there. There's no beauty. There's no work ethic. No one works hard. Everybody just kind of like does nothing. And I don't get it. Like, I mean, I'm always at my piano and I'm always practicing and I'm always going to school, and I'm going to start going to the gym again because I think that my scar tissue is healed enough to start lifting weights and see if I can do that starting in December. But it's like running away from your problems, which, I mean, the problem is Alberta. Alberta is my problem. It's not going to help anything because I've grown up in this culture of like white supremacy, and being a brown woman, I'm definitely experienced that type of racism. Being a disabled woman, I have experienced that type of ableism. But yeah, it's like you're emotionally tied to where you live and the work ethic that you've gained by having to be disabled and having to be a minority because that's who you are. So like I couldn't live in Nova Scotia because people are fucking lazy there. Like I don't know what they do all day. They just sit on Pogie. And like that's not acceptable. But like Edmonton is so unsafe. So where do you go? Like, I mean, I would love to live back in London or Paris, but it's way too expensive. You can't do that. Barcelona is a nice place, but again, there's no work ethic there, so that doesn't really suit me. Italy has a value of art, but it's also the most convoluted when you try to get things done because it's not the work ethic. It's like Italian people don't care what they're supposed to do. They're just like, I'll do it if I want to, which can get really annoying after a while. Like I think it's funny at first, but it's really annoying when you actually need something done. And I hated Germany. Like people are so unhappy there. They're just unhappy people. They have no sense of humor. They have no sense of beauty. They have no sense of like, I don't know, like I didn't like it at all. Toronto hasn't been better because I've been there like multiple times. I just find Toronto too corporate, and I don't speak Quebecois, I speak French. So no one in Quebec understands me because they speak nonsense. So I don't know. Anyway, I wouldn't move out to where my parents live in BC because there's just too many hippies. So I guess I'm stuck here with knowing people that got murdered, which is really sucky because I actually didn't know that I knew this person, this victim. So I'm supposed to go down to Tucson in February and take the Learning to Draw Predators class. And I don't know if I'm really ready for it yet, like emotionally, because I know that emotionally it's very hard. But if I can afford it and if I can swing it, I will be down there, and then I will go to Ricardo Muti's last tour with the Chicago Philharmonic, and then I will go to, there's another major thing that happens in February. I think it's a concert. It's like a country music concert here, like a big one. So I think I will probably do that. So it gives me a few months to kind of like financially get on my feet and then to leave because Edmonton is medium for money. Calgary's a lot better for money, but then you have to live with yuppies and they're obnoxious and I don't like it. So yeah, it's just really sad. I really didn't even know that I had known this person that was murdered, and like her body, parts of her body were left in a neighborhood that's really close to where I grew up. Like literally the address is 5 blocks down my main road from where, it's literally 5 blocks down my main road from where I grew up and lived until I was 15. Edmonton, you suck. So let us do the Sonatina. With all that sucking in the world, let us play some old-time e-music. Where is it? Is this it? Yes. Samuel Arnold. That is who it is. It's not Kalau. Okay, so we're going to do this. And we're going to do the D major. I don't have a 3. Oh. Okay, so I'm playing too low. Yes. D. Nope. Yeah, that's right. thinking, like, how shitty it is when someone that you mistakenly trust because they're a quote-unquote nice person backstabs you. And like, how people who know me, not only in my professional life, but in my personal life, very much respect me because I'm a truth teller. And not like a truth teller as in like Trump's truth, but like I actually tell the truth. And if someone's lying, there's just no point in engaging with them because they're convinced that their lies are okay and they're going to abuse you no matter what. But in that same vein, how like I meet people now who are like, I mean, not just in the music world, but it specifically went to conducting. Like my brain specifically went to conducting just then, of like, how I know these people is because I not only work hard, but I treat people with respect. And people who don't treat people with respect and lie to them and manipulate the situation, they just get known as that by everybody. And then they're madder and madder and madder because they can't get away from the situation that they've created. So yeah, it sucks. Like, being a victim of crime is like fucking shitty. But then violating a victim of crime by pretending to be a friend and being a two-faced cunt, that's, I'm glad I'm not you. That was really, really hard, but I think I read it well because I was paying attention to the fingering. So I got this book, and I got this book from a group of books that was for free on a free table at Alberta College before it turned super ghetto. So like 2008, since 2010, it has been extremely dangerous down there. I would not suggest going to classes down there because it's like, there's a lot of bad people in that neighborhood. Dwayne's house, a lot of addicts, a lot of really unsafe people. And the parking is really expensive, like $20 an hour. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm not paying like $60 an hour for a lesson and then paying $20 an hour for parking. That's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. Anyway, I have this book, and it's Robin's Mammoth Collection of Famous Piano Music. And this, I don't know any of it. Like, it's supposed to be famous, but I guess I don't know it, which is really sad. So I know the Schubert, I know Ace's Death, I know Anitra's Dance, Peer Gynt, I think I know the Barclay, I guess I know the Bridal Chorus. No, I guess I knew some of these, the Cradle Song. Let's start with that one, because maybe we could just go from the front to the back and see how many of these things I know. The Soldiers Chorus from Faust, I should know this. Do I know it? No. Okay. E flat minor. So there's an F sharp, which tells me that, yeah, I don't know how to do this anymore. Finding major and minors. Okay. Anyway, we'll try. We'll see if this works. Okay. That's not it. B flat. Okay. No, it's up here. things because I'm playing things at a more beginner level, only grade 8. I don't know what the fuck I'm playing, and then I can't hear it, and then, like, I can't imagine it in my head, and then I'm like, what is this supposed to be? And because, so it's happened like 3 or 4 times. Sony is a fuckface. Sony keeps saying that when I sing Armida Despotata, Ronaldo, the aria, the mezzo aria from Ronaldo, that I am Giustinato, which isn't really a compliment. And it's not. And so they keep taking it down. And they're like, we own this copyright. I was like, you don't own the music, you stupid fuckfaces. It's music from like a really long time ago. You don't own a copyright on it. Well, we think that you are Giustinato and you can't sing this. It's like, what? You're so lazy. Like, your computer sucks. And it wastes my time and it makes me mad. So I've been really worried that if I play the music on here, that I'm going to get them tagged. And then I'm going to have to waste my time going against their AI and reporting them for being stupid. And that just wastes my time. So that's often why I don't play the songs on here. And then when I get back to where I sit, when I'm usually working, which is on my bed, then I'm like, do I really want to listen to music? I'm not in my music room. I mean, I guess I could, but anyway. Yeah, so I know this song. So these are famous songs, and I know it, and that's really cool. I'm playing something that is actually like, I know this. No, that's right. Why does that sound terrible? Oh. No. song, because I know that song, and maybe it's not the right song, but I'm playing it as Carmen, and maybe it's not supposed to be played as Carmen, but it sounds like the same thing from Carmen. So I'm going to listen to it, because I might just be making it up, but it sounds like, yeah. Anyway, this is Cynthia Sings Classical, Cynthia Ganga Soprano, and the websites are still under making them better, because I don't have money to do it right now, and I want them great. I decided not to go with Unison, because I think that they're very stuck on the way that classical music has been run in the past. And he didn't even do a live presentation for the presentation of what they were going to do, and wanted me to pay like $3,800 to not actually have gone through that. And I think that that's just like the way that someone presents something to you, if they're asking for a lot of money, is the way that they will deal with you in the future. I will give them money, they will give me a product, but there will be no relationship developed there. And I don't want that. I'm looking to develop relationships with people over a long time. So I have some meetings with property management to manage. So Meridian Blair, the company for investing that I own, has always been an idea. It's never actually been put into action. It's always been an idea to be able to provide safe homes, because I didn't have a safe place to stay, and I had to deal with social workers that didn't give a fuck, and I had to deal with Youth Emerge who didn't give a fuck, and I had to deal with schools and teachers and everybody who didn't give a fuck, while I still completed high school as a homeless person. So yeah, I would like to be able to do that, and I would like to be able to do that free of grants from the Alberta government, because the Alberta government is bullshit and they will just take money away, and free of the idea of the safe home ideas, the way that feminists and Alberta women's shelters seem to look at them are a very, very past tense view. So it's like more messed up people from the past that haven't healed from their past are writing policy and developing policy that no longer is applicable. So there are many, many people who aren't eligible for shelter spots, either because they're with their sons and their sons are disabled and over 12, and they expect their sons to go to John Howard or something fucked up with men who will hurt them, because obviously they're disabled. I've seen it multiple times. So I would like to be able to develop a privately owned shelter system where I own the properties and I help to manage, I have help managing properties, to be able to set up families who need to be in safe quarters, as well as security, but not Paladin or anything stupid, but like actual ex-military police, because I honestly think sometimes even the EPS isn't very smart. Military police seem very smarter. I mean, which is funny, because when I was in the cadet system, and I know it's cadets, it's not real military, but like military intelligence is a misnomer, but taking and making sure that women are safe from their abusers and not murdered is like super important to me, because when an abuser loses control, they're more likely to get violent. Like the perceived control, because obviously they have no control over their life because they're using violence. But yeah, so I have some meetings for that this week, and of course not a lot of money. I mean, I'm renting, for God's sake, but making things like making relationships happen so that the money can come, and there's systems set up with people who actually want to meet with people. So I was following this woman, and I think it took 3 hours to get sick of her. She does some sort of affordable med school counseling. So like how to get into med school. Like it's not your MCAT, it's not your volunteer hours, it's not your GPA. She was like, there's more to it. I ran an allopathic school, like the admissions, but it wasn't a good school. So like not a DO school, but like an actual MD school. It wasn't a good school. So she was saying that like if people go to interviews when they're not intending to go to that school, that she will never talk to them again. And I was like, you're in admissions. Like, you're never going to talk to them again because you're just an admissions person. But the idea of going to an interview to meet people, to say, hey, I might be interested, is something that people should do, like, even if they're fully employed. Because your employer doesn't care about you. Like, 10% of employers actually care. And they will let you go with, like, 2 weeks notice. And I mean, for med school especially, if you're going to go to a serious program that's hard, you want to make sure that you're interviewing in as many places as you can so that you know what it feels like. You know how these people will treat you. You know who your dean is. You know if these people ask you stupid questions during the interview, if they're totally inappropriate, if they come late, anyway. So she got really mad at me and was like, well, I wouldn't invite you to a med school interview. And I was like, I can't handle blood. I realized that I can't go into medicine because I literally can't handle blood. But she was also so dismissive of the idea that, like, we are interviewing as much as you are interviewing us. If I'm not going to stay in a job for like 4 to 5 years, or there's no potential for growth, or they're paying me the average standard when I'm not an average standard person, then I'm not going to even, like, I need to know that. I need to hear that from your words. I need to see that in a contract. If people are writing contracts that are very adversarial, like non-competition clauses, and you can't have your own business, and you can't do anything else but this job, you say, fuck you. Like, you don't sign it. You walk away. Like, I don't understand. Because if you're scared of someone owning their own business and competing with you, you obviously don't really have much to stand on. Like, there's no reason why anyone would take that job. I mean, desperate people new to the industry, whether it's healthcare or finance, because those are really the only things that I know. I guess I sort of know renewables, but yeah, like, if you come adversarially at me, I'm gonna walk, because there's no point. Like, if you're aggressive now, you're gonna be a dick during the job or contract. I mean, because I'm a contractor. Yeah. So I was thinking about that because this woman was like, you can't interview if you already are going to choose something else, but you haven't made the official choice yet. Of course you can interview. She was garbage. Human garbage. I don't have time. But like, she was super aggressive with it when she came and retorted to me. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Interviewing. I have a job, but I'm still interviewing. And it's not quiet quitting. I'm a very hard worker. I care very much about my clients, both in finance and healthcare. Yeah. But if you offer me something that's garbage, or you don't have clients, or you don't have a business that's functioning, I'm not here to build it for you. Like, you need to do the sales. You need to do the marketing. You need to have these plans set up. If you don't know how to do that, you're a waste of time. Because why would I contract for you when I could contract for myself? Yeah, those are my thought processes as I go into this whole thing of actually standing up for myself, which is awesome. This is really cool. I'm going to listen to it because maybe I'm playing something that's actually Carmen, because that's what I'm hearing in my head. But Cynthia Gang is soprano, Cynthia sings classical. All my rantings, no, it's not rantings, it's just talking to you about what I'm learning. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, everybody.